Well, hello. Today is the 25th of March. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun is in Aries, ascendant in Gemini, and the moon in Capricorn. Look at the picture I put on the video. Look at it very carefully. It's full of details. You'll find the abundance on that picture. The abundance that was given you for free. For free. You don't see it, do you? Instead, you are bothering yourself with the little things, small things that bug you. This is how you end up in your own cage, your own cages. There is a meaning for a cage too, when you are in a cage. It is to give you remorse. If you don't have it, to find it. And it is to get rid of the extras in your life. The extras that you got, by the way, as you lived it. I'm gonna tell you something, a little bit, about that big, huge painting with a woman that stretched her arms to the sky. That picture is it's a painting, and it's a very large painting. Width and length is 1 meter. It was made to make people feel good. Whoever looks at it can find health. There are 2 cuts on the painting, which somebody did on purpose, without knowing what the picture was made for. And this person will have her own cage. It's a woman, yes. The painting is called, in English language, it would be like this: so that the earth gets rid of them. That's what it's called. And it was made about 14 months ago. Now, on the right side, on the wall, there is a picture, it's also a painting, of a naked woman, right? It's the same woman from the big picture. And it's naked, and she has her arms stretched, not exactly towards the sky. She's also smiling, but she is within the earth. Half of her body is within the earth. Her feet are in the artesian waters, and then her legs basically it's a form of it's a layer of clay, layer of limestone, layer of well water, layer of the surface land, how do you call it in English? It was made about 6 years ago. She is also smiling. Maybe she has a little bit different face, more serious, but smiling too. That painting is called My Nature Has Eyes. It is constantly giving and giving. It is supportive too. Remember how in the beginning God created all sorts of things and animals and plants and everything. And then he put Adam as the ruler, not the ruler actually, the master of the earth. Then he created Eve after he warned, don't eat from that tree. Do you remember that? Yes, you do. That meant that they had everything. Everything. The moment they didn't listen, they went out of the heavens, the paradise, Eden, however you call it. That's when they started to hunt animals, to kill basically. Adam became a hunter, a killer. She became everything that he ordered her to be. Like he is the one who created her and ordered her how to live, what to think, what to do, only to please him. And that's how he determined her values. And it's been going on ever since then. Well, who is Adam? One human being. To set the values for Mother Nature too. The creation gives commands to the Spirit that creates everything. Unbelievable. And yet, his offspring, his children and grandchildren, they are not satisfied with the idea that they came from a woman, her belly. So she has to be punished. That's why so much crime is committed over the women. So instead of the master of the earth, as he fell, his consciousness, his awareness fell. He suddenly became the judge of everything and everyone, especially the females. He decides what's going to be with her. He decides what she's going to eat, what she's going to wear, where she's going to be. He decides the value of her, vagina. Since when did God have a plan like that? And she agrees to, almost everything. Because, why? She wants to stay alive. A stupid one, smart one, a cunning one, it doesn't matter what kind of a woman or a girl there is. You're never good enough. Your wisdom is not appreciated. No. The man invented a car. The man invented, lots of things. A plane. The man invented anything. You didn't, so shut up. But if there wasn't for you, there wouldn't be him either. And you are his mother, aren't you? How can a woman command a little boy how to do something, you know? It is not easy to discipline your children, right? And if she knows only what she's been taught, and she's been taught almost nothing, let's say nothing, how will you be happy with her? Well, in that case, you know only what you've been taught. But mostly what I've seen people, it's always men. Sometimes it's women, but it's always men who just think they're here to take everything that life gives them, that take whatever they want to feel powerful, basically to go into that original state of Adam. Like he doesn't have any power, so he has to maybe steal or take something or everything. He has the right to everything, you know. To go back into that perhaps original Adam. Then he likes to claim that I did everything for you or because of you or somebody else. It doesn't have to be his mommy, his wife or something. But he does everything for somebody else, which is a lie. Because if you do everything for everybody else or somebody else, you'd have a very much different life. Basically, you do everything for yourself. From the beginning, you knew this person or this situation or something will give you advantages, will give you the reason to, or the opportunity to feel good about yourself, to feel, well, powerful in some way, right? So it's not important the life. What's important is your life and the power over your own life. Like you are the owner of your own life. The truth is, you are not. You are only dependable upon God's mercy to be alive or to die. Ungratitude towards what you've been given, what you have already, and the hatred that it's not your way, the hatred towards the life itself, the hatred towards what you have right now in your life. Well, that came when you were bored with love and gratitude. When you felt, well, that was enough. I am not stupid. I'm going to prove something that I am not this or that you can't treat me like this or like that. That was the end of love and gratitude. And that was the end of the abundance. That was the end of kind communication. You willingly decided actually to stop being a good person. And that was your own cage. And from that cage, you've decided to drag the other people down into that cage. If I feel that way, I want you to feel the same. Or I want somebody to pay for that. How can somebody pay for that? You can rob them or you can kill them. But there is one thing you forgot. That everything you do to somebody else, you did it to God Almighty. Yes, He understands your cage. Yes, He understands what you do. But you don't understand what you are doing. One day, the result will have to be like even. So one day you will have to correct what you did. Of course, you have the right to have a choice, your own choice, but not to drag other people into something that is not good, really, actually. Because there is some kind of the universal justice, you know. It's the same what mothers do to their children too, especially like 200, 300, or 500 years ago. They were programmed. Back then they were even illiterate and everything, but they were programmed from the early days, since they were born, that they are somebody's servants, that the man is always in command, that, well, she doesn't have a brain, so somebody else always has a brain, you know. If you don't have a brain, how can you give birth to a baby and know what to do with it if you don't have a brain, you know? And things like that. So basically, they do the same bullshit to their own children. And then the children do to the grandchildren until, well, something has to change, or somebody has to change something. There is always a good way, there is always a bad way, as people see it. And a mother always gets a surprise. You never know what you get when you give birth to a child. You don't know the child's path. You don't know anything about that child except that it's a child, it's a life. So it's a kind of always her fault because she's like this and like that. And it's the child's fault because the child is like this or like that. Hyperactive child or something like that. You weren't hoping for that, were you? You weren't hoping to live in a world like it is today, where everybody, even a child, gets judged by, let's say, the government or some kind of people that think they're smarter than you, of course. You don't give birth to a child because of your country. You just give birth to a child because you give birth to a child. And that's it. That's the whole wisdom of it. A child is not some kind of ownership of the people from the government organizations. They don't know how to raise them, and plus, they don't know how to love the child because they're just mercenaries who work for their salary. There is only one way out of this. Only one way. Leave your outside toys and go within yourselves. That's all from me for today.